Hello everyone, it's me Goose, coming at you live from hell. I'm in the pits of hell right now. Anyways, so today is a weird day because I was supposed to upload the whole Mario Odyssey review, but unfortunately, I can't do it right now. I made a whole 5-page script as to why I think it's a great game, but I was really disappointed when I read it over. I was like, oh, this just sounds like everybody else's fucking review, so I'm just like, nah, fuck it. I'm just gonna go ahead and just do my own thing, and I'm rewriting the script and I'm recording it tonight, and I'm just gonna upload it tomorrow. Hopefully y'all like it, but hey, whatever. Anyways, actually, if you guys want to help out, comment down below and tell me this: do you think Mario Odyssey is a masterpiece? That's the one thing I'm struggling with. Contribute down below and maybe we'll discuss, and maybe we'll see if we can find some conclusion to this review. But anyways, on to the main subject of today's Q, and that would be the greed of YouTube. So I'm bringing this up real quick. It's not a big subject. There's no like controversy going on. There's no person or a company that I'm going after when it comes to this, but it's just more like a collective of people and somewhat of ignorance from both sides. I would get, not really YouTubers, but people who watch YouTube. There seems to be some sort of willful ignorance, maybe not willful, but it's just like there's not enough info for those people. And what I'm talking about is people starting up Patreon. Now, the whole Patreon thing has been starting since, I don't know, years ago, like 2012, maybe 2013. You started seeing a lot of YouTubers just straight up saying, hey, I need a Patreon, I need to do this, I need to do that, I need that, right? But it's only just recently that now you're seeing bigger YouTubers do it. Like, and I mean not 100,000 subscribed YouTubers, not 200,000. I'm talking about like fucking million subscribed YouTubers doing Patreon shit. And I anytime I see that, I see a lot of the comment section being like, oh, you're just greedy, you just make a lot of money already, you blah blah blah. And me being someone who has a Patreon, not a lot of patrons, but people who are willing to give me money anyways, people who are supportive of me, it's kind of just weird and cringy to see so many people thinking like they know what they're talking about. See, I'm seeing people from, like I said, 700,000 to 800,000 subscribed dudes starting up new patron stuff, and that fucking scares me because I only have 15,000 subscribers, and I needed to make a Patreon in order to get money, to make a profit, to turn a profit from just making videos, spending my time making videos here on YouTube. I needed to do that because I don't get enough from YouTube. Quite frankly, it's a random place. I said it tons of times, over and over and over again, and I'll say it in the future as well. YouTube is a random platform that you should not hold your bearings on. You get paid a random, not really a random amount, but like an amount of money that you can't personally predict. It all depends on how much you do, how hard you work. Sometimes if you work hard as fuck one month, that probably won't result as much money as your next month where you're far more lazy. I only made about 5 videos this month and I'm still turning a profit, whereas the other month I made like 10-12 videos that month and I barely made anything. It all depends on what exactly is trending and all that shit. It's a complicated thing. It's a complicated system that doesn't always profit, which is why I needed Patreon. But the fact that I see so many larger YouTubers, fucking 10 times bigger than me, fucking even more than that, the fact that they're making Patreons is scary, because that means I have no fucking hope in this platform. But what's even scarier is the misinformation that the fans have. A lot of fans, when they see people make Patreon stuff, they think immediately greed. They think that the YouTuber is stingy. They think the YouTuber just wants money. And I've gotten those comments before, especially in the new Rick and Morty video that I made, which, hey, by the way, that's another reason you should be a patron or donate, because I'm not making money off of that. You know why? Because some motherfucking company copyright strike that fucking video, and now I'm not making a profit off of that video anymore. So that fucking sucks. I tried to dispute it. They said no, they're not telling me what exactly I copyright what copyright infringement I did. They're not telling me at all. I'm just not making a profit. That fucking 200,000 viewed video would have made me quite a bit of money, and I really need that money right now. But no, they just want to fuck me up the ass, and fuck me up the ass they did without any lubricant, nothing. They just fucking did it, and that sucks. So shit like that happens all the goddamn time, and yet still people are saying, hey, you make so much money. No, we don't. A lot of people think that the adpocalypse is over. It wasn't. It's not over. It never fucking ended. Okay, Brett from Cow Chop also a big ass fucking. They're the scariest of them all. Cow Chop being this YouTube channel owned by this company that makes quite a bit of profit, and they have merch. They have this huge budget. They have a production staff. Whatever the fuck. They're made of a ton of people. And they needed to make a fucking Patreon. And in their Patreon video, Brett stated, a lot of people think that the adpocalypse ended. It's not. It never ended. Okay? It's an apocalypse. The apocalypse doesn't end. Do you think the motherfuckers in The Walking Dead can end the apocalypse, the zombie apocalypse that's currently happening in the show? How many fucking seasons are they in right now? 7, 8, maybe even more? No, this season, next season, the season after that, next season, there's not going to be a fucking end, okay? Even if they find a cure in that show, what? Oh, they found a cure. Great. Guess what? Fucking millions of people are infected with this zombie shit. What are we gonna do then? We still gotta clear out the fucking zombies. We gotta clean up this mess. We gotta rebuild society. We gotta do all this shit. And we just found the cure. And nobody cares about the cure right now because we're trying to rebuild civilization. The fucking cure can wait. That's what's going on YouTube right now. There's no cure. That's the difference. And they're trying to rebuild society. They're not trying to fucking find a cure. First, they rebuild the whole system, the whole shebang, They're trying to make sure Coca-Cola and all those motherfuckers care about putting ads on this fucking website. And, oh, God, and nothing's happened, okay? Nothing has happened. I'm not making much money. Fucking PewDiePie, he's making a ton of money. He's fucking set for life. But people like Cow Chop, people who are way bigger than I am, they're not making a fucking profit. Not as much as they want to anyways. Shit's broke. We're broke. Shit's breaking. And that's terrible. The fact that I see so many people comment on my video, comment on other people's videos who have started Patreons, and they're like, oh, you're fucking greedy. You just want more money. Well, yeah, I want fucking money. Right now, I'm in between a transition from living from North Carolina to the fucking West Coast, okay? And I'm not gonna get into detail as to why I moved. I just wanted to move, okay? It's personal family issues. I needed to fucking move, all right? I was living there for a while, and now I moved. Now, thankfully, I have enough money to survive for a few months, and I'm still looking for a fucking job. Yet I still need money, and I'm hoping. I'm just hoping. I'm not sure if YouTube will ever grant me, the YouTube gods will ever grant me fortune, but I'm hoping that I can turn a profit this month, next month, whatever, right? I'm still trying to look for a job because I don't fucking trust YouTube, but fact of the matter is, I need money. It's cool to make these videos, but it's either I make these videos and go broke, or make these videos and make a fucking profit. Honestly, I could just stop. I could just stop and focus on my life instead of making YouTube videos, which I'm sure many of you subscribed. You probably don't want that. I don't want that. I love YouTube. I really do. And I love writing. I love being a writer. I love making scripts. I love screenwriting. I love doing all that shit. Doing YouTube is just a cherry on top, man. But that cherry's turning sour, turning rotten, and I'm not sure if I can eat it anymore. But hey, that's just a rant. A lot of people think YouTubers are greedy as fuck nowadays because we're all making Patreons. No, motherfuckers. Things just don't look good. Not anymore. Probably not in the future. And some of you are probably going to say, oh, well, why don't the biggest YouTubers on this platform make a new YouTube? Something that everyone can profit off of. Something that will be like the new fucking Metropolis. The the perfect haven for content creators. Yeah, no, that's not gonna happen. I'm sorry, but maybe that'll happen. But if that does happen, it's not gonna be as popular as YouTube. YouTube isn't even a Goliath or a Colossus or a giant or whatever synonym you want to use. It's none of that. It is Atlas. It is carrying everyone right now. Okay? There isn't another Atlas unless you want to make a whole new website that's like completely different and somehow revolutionary, but you can't just snap your fingers and think, there it is. There's that revolutionary thing. A lot of people think VidMe. No, VidMe is not. I'm sorry, VidMe. I love you, but right now, VidMe is not the optimal place to go right now. It's first of all, the VidMe community completely hostile to big YouTubers transitioning over to VidMe. So that fucking sucks. And that's really hindering its growth. But whatever. Anyways, I'm sorry. That was just a rant. I needed to get that off my chest. I don't know. I think I was really pissed off when I saw a lot of people commenting on like how myself and other people are greedy for doing Patreon and asking for donations. Motherfucker, we're not making money off of this, okay? And I know, oh, look for a job. Yeah, motherfucker, I am looking for a job. Right now I can't find one. And, you know, life, all right? So, fuck off. Anyways, sorry guys. That's just a rant that I needed to get off my chest. It's been a while since I've actually ranted for anything at all. But, hey, it's Q. Time to take any of your questions and answer them right here on this show. So if you have any questions, just make sure to leave a hashtag Q on any of my videos, and I will get to you in the next one, which is every Friday is a Q, so keep that in mind. All right, let's get on to it. First question is by David Sherborne. You asked, you're one of my favorite creators on YouTube. I look forward to your videos more than any big YouTuber. You guys are way too nice to me, man. I swear to God, like fucking ew. But thank you. Picture that you one day when your channel becomes bigger and you grow a larger community, people will find some opinions of yours controversial and it'll turn into a big YouTube drama bullshit situation. What opinion would that be? So, I do have an opinion, and it's going to be incredibly controversial, but I think we should segregate the colors from the whites. No, I'm just kidding. No, seriously, though, I do have some controversial things that I have in mind, but right now I have a small community, and I don't think a lot of what I say will affect my YouTube growth as of right now. I think I'm going pretty steady on just making videos on drama. That's my cousin asking me to play a video game with him. Hold up. I'm going to mute that. But anyways, right now I'm making quite a bit of bank. Not a bit of bank. What the fuck? I'm not making any bank. But I'm making quite a bit of success from making videos on drama. You know, as long as I don't get copyright strikes by some motherfuckers who fuck off. Whatever. But whatever. Anyways. But I guess I can voice my opinions now as I think it's safe now. Just realize that I'm sure someone will dig up this video and be like, see, he's this or whatever they're going to call me in the future. Just know that. And if you're against this, if you don't want to talk about like controversial stuff, just skip ahead and we'll see. Okay. Here's my controversial opinion. And listen, it's my opinion. Maybe it'll change in the future. It probably will. Maybe. I don't know. But I've always had an issue of how we treated gender dysphoria, which I feel is a bigger issue nowadays than it was back then. Because I feel like a lot of people were all closeted. They never want to talk about it. Or maybe you've been influenced because now you see that it can be a thing, right? But we're so open to it now, but it feels like we're not really progressing to what it can be, like what we can do to help it. See, a lot of people think that maybe transitioning over from one gender to another will help. And that's fine. If it does, sometimes it does. If it does, go for it, right? And that sometimes seems like the solution. But whenever I see certain people, I've had certain experiences with people who suffered from that. When I see certain people go through that transition, they seem extremely happy at first. But going through that transition, even after everything is complete, even after they're completely changed to who they wanted to be, I've always seen this immense amount of depression afterwards, that they can't see themselves in the mirror and see a woman, instead they see a man, or vice versa. And I feel like we've all wanted to just like push that under the rug. Like it's as if gender dysphoria can be just cured by being a certain gender, like just changing the gender. That never seemed like the answer for me. It just never did. I mean, I'm not someone who suffers from that, so I don't know. Maybe it does help. Maybe it really does, and I'm sure it really does help for certain people. But I've always thought of it as a mental thing, as, oh, this is what I am, and this is what I will be always. And instead of like changing it, why don't we try going for the mind itself? Why don't we try healing the mind? It's not like with depression. We don't just give someone a magic pill and it turns them super happy. It helps, but it doesn't change them forever. So instead of going like, you're not going to go up to someone with depression and be like, hey, how about just be happy? Instead of being depressed, how about just being happy? Similarly, why do we face that certain topic, the whole gender dysphoria thing, by just going, hey, why don't you just change genders? It doesn't seem right. And I always see a lot of people who have done that, who have changed genders, and yet still they feel like they're so uncomfortable in their body, because even though they've transformed, even though they're a certain person, they still see themselves as that one thing. It's a mental disorder. It's something that needs to be helped, whether it be psychological help or like a psychiatrist, or like certain pills or whatever the fuck you want to do to help. I don't think changing your gender is the be all end all solution to it. For some people, of course it can be. Like how there's different levels of depression, there's different levels of gender dysphoria. I'm sure there is. But I don't see how sweeping it under the rug, as if changing gender. Look, keep in mind, I think those kinds of people are fucking brave. Like I could never do a process like that ever, even if I wanted to, right? I could never do that fucking shit. That shit's brave, it's expensive, it's stressful, it there's a whole lot of can of worms that you got to go through. But I just feel like there's more to it. There's more to it than just changing your gender, and there has to be more studies done, instead of just, hey, change your gender, you're going to be super hip and happening now, you're going to be so happy when you do it. I've seen it before. I've seen a lot of people unhappy about it. I think there just needs to be more research done. I think that's my most controversial opinion on this. And maybe, hey, if it gets me some YouTube drama, hey, hopefully it does, because I need some views and also some subscribers and maybe a bit of money. But anyways, seriously though, I think maybe that's my most controversial opinion. I probably have other opinions I never really thought about, but when I read that question, that's the immediate thing that I thought about. I don't know. I think that's the closest I've ever gotten to like a social justice warrior kind of rant, but whatever. Anyways, thank you for the question. Next question is by Tevin Banks. You asked, if you had a chance at creating a horror movie, what would it be based on, or how would you write one? I love psychological horror, because that is the one thing that I feel like most of us fear, even if we don't know it yet. A lot of people like to do scary movies on, well, a lot of things really, but the three main categories are monsters, people, or, people being monsters, or psychological. Everybody always argues that serial killers are the scariest things ever. I always fucking thought that the scariest thing ever was your own mind, and if you ever lose control of it. That's why Silent Hill has always been like a very passionate and just like, I love that thing so much. I love Silent Hill. It's all about psychological horror. It's about the horrors within your mind and the secrets you keep within yourself, the things that you don't want to face. When it's brought into the light, you are horrified by it. You are scared by it, And someday, hopefully it doesn't, someday people lose their minds. They don't have control over it. Whether they start forgetting stuff, whether they start hearing things, whether they become delusional or like something else, or they become narcissistic without them even knowing it, Like, those kinds of things are fucking scary. And I've always loved the visualization of psychological horror into reality, turning your inner demons into actual demons. I always thought that was fascinating, and I love that so much. The thing is, I do love monsters quite a ton, but I never liked how Hollywood has always been so fucking scared of just never showing the monster. So they have to show it on the trailers, they have to show it on the commercials, on the billboards. This is the spooky monster. Pay us and you'll see the monster live on well, not live, but you'll see it on the big screen. I've always hated that. If I ever had control over a horror movie, I would love to do it just raw, just never show the fucking monsters. Just show glimpses of it. Show glimpses of that fucking monster and never show it ever. I would love that so much. But also, I do like character pieces, horror movies that are based off of just people who are, just your average person who happens to kill people. They're just the scary, charismatic person, like that show in Hannibal. Hannibal's a scary person. He's a murderer, though, and he's charismatic, but it's perfect. It's perfect if that were ever happening. Man, I want to make a horror movie. Also, I love ghosts. I would love to make a ghost film. I'm not talking about spooky ghost haunting. Not a lot of people make ghost films anymore. It seems like ghost horror films are just gone now. I don't know why. But I would love to make a movie like Lake Mungo. I fucking love Lake Mungo, okay? I always describe it as the one horror movie, the scariest horror movie where nothing ever happens. And I want to make a fucking movie like that. God damn, that movie was fucking scary. I love it. And finally, the last question is by Yobani Bustos or Bustos. I love that name, actually. It's super cool. Anyways, you asked, why did you start YouTube? I started YouTube back in 2010, maybe, but I was a little kid back then. 2009? Yeah, I was a little kid, dude. That's like almost 10 years ago. I was just a fucking child. I had no idea what I was doing. I was just doing Let's Plays because I saw a lot of my favorite YouTubers were Let's Players. I don't know if I was subscribed to PewDiePie at the time, but I might have been. Whatever. I might have seen his machinimas or whatever. But I loved Chugga Conroy. I loved this other Let's Player that I'm never going to name because he's a piece of shit and he's a foul motherfucker. I hate him. But I loved his content when I was a kid. And, PewDiePie came along too. And that's when I fucking loved YouTube in general as like a platform. It was great. Unfortunately, I'm really not that great at making YouTube content. So I just sort of stopped and I didn't have much. I only had like about 600 subscribers, which was pretty okay actually back in the day. I think the biggest channel at the time was 1 million subscribers, and I think that was Fred. I'm not sure, don't quote me on that, but yeah, either Nigga or Fred, they were the biggest YouTubers, and they only had about 1 million. So me having 600 subscribers at the time wasn't that bad. It's probably the equivalent of having 15,000 now. But I just never expanded upon that. I just never wanted to. I don't know. I just never liked it that much. Now, I didn't like my content, and I was just so lazy at making it. I had fucking high school to deal with, so I just never went with it. And also, I just didn't have many friends, so I couldn't collaborate with anyone outside, of YouTube, and it was just shitty. I don't know. But then I rebooted it. I think 2013, I still wanted to be a Let's Player, which is the golden age, I think, of Let's Plays. Probably the declination of Let's Plays, because that was probably the worst of times. 2014, 2015, I think I was still doing Let's Plays, but not really. Oh, wait, no, 2015, I think I started this fucking channel, didn't I? Yeah, I think I started this channel in 2015. I rebooted my channel all over again in 2015 because I just didn't want to do Let's Plays anymore. Or rather, I did, but I wanted to have a certain persona, and I didn't have that back when I was known as, I think, Bad Shaman. I don't know, I just didn't have a certain persona that I liked, So, went over to Goose Boose, was known as Goose Boose, and I did few Let's Plays. I think I did Undertale, and I completed that. I think that's the only Let's Play I completed in this channel thus far. Oh no, I did Spooky's House of Jump Scares, which I think has changed. I think it's Spooky's Mansion of Spooks, and now, whatever. But I started doing that, but I wasn't happy with it. I noticed that I wasn't growing, and I just felt like something was off. And lo and behold, Let's Play channels are dead. They're dead. You can't make a new Let's Play channel nowadays. Unless you're a person who has already had success and fame, you can't do Let's Play channels. They're dead. Don't even go for it. If you're a new person and you want to jump into Let's Plays on YouTube, don't do it. You're not going to succeed, okay? That's the harsh truth. If you're someone who has had success before with like 500,000 subscribers or 100,000 subscribers and you want to do some Let's Play, hey, don't do it either, because it's not going to be as successful as you think. Fucking Pan Pizza did that. Fucking Rebel Taxi, he's not successful. It's just a shitty channel. And guess what? Let's Plays are shitty. So, fuck off. unless you have some different formula, like Cow Chop, fuck off. You're not gonna succeed. So I stopped doing Let's Plays and I started doing more commentary stuff. I did the whole Sombra thing, and I found that people were more interested in Sombra and me talking about video games in general than they were on Let's Plays, and that's why I'm starting this direction now. So I feel like I'm doing good as of right now. I've gained over 4,000 subscribers this month alone, which is pretty awesome. Hopefully that rises even higher, but we'll see. Yeah, man. But I mean, the only thing I lament about that, like the reason why I'm just like, I kind of feel like I missed out. I wish I were a successful Let's Player, because I love seeing animated adventures of different Let's Players, you know, people doing fan art of that. I feel like my content isn't even suitable for that. As much as I love the fan art you guys make so goddamn much. I love it a ton. The thing is, I don't think my content is made for making that kind of shit, and hopefully I can change that. But as of right now, I gotta make videos on the most popular things so I can make some money. So to answer your question, why did I start a YouTube channel? Because I loved the YouTubers that were on it. I wanted some of that fame, and I loved the community. I loved the idea of having a community. And now that I have a very small one, a very niche one, I'm in love with it, and I'm in love with all you guys. I love y'all so very much. But that was the Q. Thank you all so much for your questions. Yobani, David, and Tevin. Thank you all so much for your questions. I love y'all so very much. And if you guys want to ask questions, again, just leave a hashtag Q in any of my videos at all. Doesn't have to be this one. Anyone. I can just look them up. So long as you have the hashtag Q, we're good. But yeah, thank you so very much for watching. Hopefully I didn't offend you. And hopefully, if you want to, you know, help me out, donate on Patreon, or just donate straight up on PayPal, and I'll see you all next time. I love y'all so very much. Goodbye.